Bossman. Football. Gaming. Culture.
What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to the channel. It's the Bossman talking to you, welcoming the Bossman Army to this segment of Premier League review with the Bossman. Now, game week 32 just concluded and it was chaotic. Well, depending on what team you support, you either had a very amazing weekend or a very sad one. We waited 3 weeks without football and we came back to a lot of drama, upsets. There was a historic result at Old Trafford. There was a title implication game, and also a relegation 6 pointer. So all of that I will bring you. And there's something also happened at Stamford Bridge. Something pretty title defining happened at Stamford Bridge. But we'll get into all of that. Before we jump in, make sure you are following, subscribe, like, and always make sure to leave a comment in the comment section. If you're already following, thank you so much for the support. I love you guys. And let's cook. Now, game week 32 review. First game of the weekend was West Ham Wolves. We were starved of Premier League football for the longest time. International break was followed by the FA Cup, so we had 2 weekends without football. That hardly ever happens, but it happened, and yeah, we're back to the grind of the Premier League. 6 games to go, and this is the business end. It's a make or break time for everybody. It's either you get your house in order and don't get relegated, or yeah, you drop. So that was the case in the very first game, West Ham versus Wolves. It was a relegation 6 pointer. Wolves 20th position, West Ham sitting, well, now sitting pretty after this result. The result, West Ham 4, Wolves 0. West Ham absolutely demolished Wolves in this one. I mean, I predicted a 2-0 win. I didn't see 4 goals being scored by West Ham in this one. The game was at the West Ham Stadium, London Stadium. 4 goals, clean sheet. There was absolutely no contests, to be honest. All the goals came, it was a very dominant second half showing for West Ham. Mavropanos got the opening goal, assisted by Bowen, and that was when the floodgates opened. West Ham managed to score 2 goals. 2 goals in 2 minutes. They scored in the 66 minutes and in the 68 minutes. That was a brace in 2 minutes for Castellanos, who also picked up a yellow card in between his goals, but he didn't let that stop him. He was busy doing his business. And then Mavropanos now got the 4th goal finally in the 83rd minute to put a gloss on a very good result for the Hammers. That result officially dragged them out of the relegation spot and into 17th position. Now, Tottenham are neck deep in that relegation spot. So the Friday opener, the Friday game for the weekend, got West Ham out of the relegation spot for the first time in a long time, and that was an amazing result for them. Now, the question is, can they keep it up till the end of the season and hope that Tottenham continues to falter? We'll see. We will see. But statement performance by West Ham, that performance says we are not going down. We're still in this. We're still part of the Premier League. Game 2 of the weekend, Arsenal, Bournemouth. That was the early game on Saturday. That game, I had to wake up very early. I think I had 4 hours of sleep. I woke up early to watch the game at 7 a.m. and it did not disappoint. It was a very interesting one. Massive, massive result for the title race. Arsenal lost at home. The result was Arsenal 1, Bournemouth 2. Ooh, Bournemouth drew first blood. Very good attack. Junior Krupi scored with a cross from the left. Arsenal did hit back through Victor Gyökeres. What I'll call a soft penalty. Was it a penalty? Yeah, but it was soft. Handball in the penalty box. I think it was Gabriel who looped the ball up. The ball seemed to be going over the bar to no man's land, but it hit a Bournemouth player in the hand. And yeah, the penalty was given by the referee. VAR confirmed the penalty, and Victor Gyökeres stepped up and slammed it home for 1-1 for Arsenal. From then on, you would think normally as a neutral watching the game, you'd be like, oh, Arsenal are back in this. They're definitely going to go ahead and win the game. But that was not the case. In the 74th minute, Alex Scott, who had taken 2 or 3 other shots during the game, and I was like, why are you shooting so wildly? But in this particular case, he latched onto a true ball and slammed the ball home past Raya for 2-1. Arsenal pushed and pushed, tried to find an equalizer, but they couldn't find an equalizer. Gyökeres picked up a yellow card for, he was frustrated in the 80th minute, but that was about it. Arsenal had more possession. They both had like equal shots on target, but still, Bournemouth managed to run away from the Emirates with 3 points. That's Arsenal's second loss in the Premier League all season. Only their second loss. The first was inflicted by Manchester United, and this was inflicted by Bournemouth. So great result for Bournemouth. And yeah, Arsenal supposedly had way more quality, but Bournemouth played as a team. And if Arsenal are serious about this title, these are the kind of games that they shouldn't lose. I did predict that, it wouldn't be a big team that will be Arsenal's problem. It would be a small team that will be their Achilles heel. I didn't see it was going to be Bournemouth, but hey, they dropped points. And Man City, over to you. Now, game 3, Brentford versus Everton. This one ended Brentford 2, Everton 2, right on the money with my prediction. I predicted a draw in this game 1-1. I ended 2-2. Very wild one at the G Tech, but Brentford led twice. Everton equalized twice. Game ended 2-2. It was a very balanced game. Thiago scored the first goal after just 3 minutes in, and Beto equalized in the 26th minute. Brentford went back in front through Thiago, who scored his second, so he got a brace, and that I think takes him to 21 goals for the season, which is very, very remarkable for him. And then right at the death, Dewsbury Hall leveled it for Everton with a nice left-footed finish after some penalty box chaos. Heartbreaking for Brentford because they almost saw it off, but Everton got that late equalizer for 2-2. Brentford created more in this game, but they couldn't hold the lead. I believe it's 2 points dropped here for them. They almost got past the finish line. Next game, game 4, Burnley versus Brighton. Burnley 0, Brighton 2. You could say Brighton made it a comfortable win for themselves at a tough more. Clean sheet, professional job. Whitford scored in the 43rd minute. Just before the break, Brighton went 2 up again with Whitford scoring his second goal. Burnley had nothing to show for their efforts. They huffed and puffed. They did score a goal that was disallowed by VAR, but that was about all that they had to offer. Brighton had more shots on target, and they were the better side overall, deserved of their 2-0 win. Game 5, Liverpool versus Fulham. Liverpool 2, Fulham 0. Liverpool keeping pace at the top after a dismal Champions League outing versus PSG. But yeah, back at home at Anfield, they managed to get a composed win over Fulham. What happened in the Champions League. So the Champions League race is still alive. They are now, they're still in 5th position behind Aston Villa. I think 2 points behind Aston Villa. So they're doing well. They're doing okay as long as the teams above keep dropping points. So over to Aston Villa and United to keep getting points. Crystal Palace, Newcastle, that's game 6. Crystal Palace 2, Newcastle 1. Mateta was a hero in this one, simple and short. Since his supposed purported move in the summer, the fans haven't really forgiven him completely. But yeah, you can say he's redeemed himself. Was it in the summer or in January? Sorry, I think it was in January. And yeah, Mateta delivered when it mattered, and hopefully the fans of Crystal Palace can start to forgive him now, and they will totally love that one. Game 7, Nottingham Forest versus Aston Villa. Nottingham Forest 1, Aston Villa 1. Right on the money with my prediction again on this one. I predicted a draw in this game. This one had some spice to it. Murillo scored an own goal. Unlucky for him, there was a cross from the left wing, and Villa had a lot of possession, but I believe Forest had more clear-cut chances in the game. It was pretty balanced, so 1-1 on the night was a very fairly even result. Gentleman's handshake. Game 8, Sunderland versus Tottenham. Ooh, relegation battle for Tottenham. Sunderland 1, Tottenham 0. De Zerbi's first game. I did make a video, highlighting how Tottenham has gone. They've gone from, grace to grass, from winning the Europa League to being in the relegation spots right now. I made that video before De Zerbi was appointed. It's up on my channel. If you haven't seen it, make sure to check it out. And things are only getting worse for them, even with the appointment of a new manager. His first game, 0 points, 0 goals. They lost. It was unlucky. The goal was unlucky, but still, yeah. Sunderland held on for the win despite Tottenham trying to push. Towards the end, he even felt like Sunderland had more chances. Like Sunderland were going to score a second. It seemed more like Sunderland were going to score a second than that Tottenham were going to get an equalizer in the game. They had only 2 shots on target, Tottenham. So it wasn't really a great showing for them. I think they are in serious trouble. I did predict that they were going to survive the drop, but after that kind of performance, who knows? Game 9, Chelsea versus Manchester City. Woo! Battle at the bridge. This is normally a very intense, feisty game over the years, but Pep Guardiola has started to make it a one-sided affair. This was Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, supposedly their home, their fortress, but still they got malhandled, they got massacred by Manchester City. After Arsenal's loss to Bournemouth, it was over to Man City to try and keep up the pace because they now have 2 games in hand, which is this one against Chelsea and one against Crystal Palace, and then they also have to play Arsenal in the coming weekend. So over to Man City to cut the deficit to 6 points, and Man City went there and totally bossed the game. Nico O'Reilly scored the first goal in the 51st minute. Guehi made it 2-0 through a Ryan Cherki assist. Ryan Cherki completely bossed the second half of this game. Ryan Cherki also created another goal. He got 2 assists in the game. Then at the end of the game, Doku put the cherry on top. He robbed Salcido of the ball and ran into the box and slotted it in for 3-0 to Manchester City. So now the deficit has been cut to 6 points, and Arsenal playing Manchester City next weekend. If Manchester City win that, it becomes 3 points. Who are you backing to win this Premier League? The Premier League title is heating up. It is heating up. So Cherki got his 2 assists, and that takes him to 10 for the season. City looked very, very dangerous in this game. Chelsea still have hope of silverware. They have the FA Cup semi-final, I believe, coming up. So that gives them a little bit of confidence that they can still make something of their season. Now they're stuck in 6th place. Can they make it into the Champions League? We will see if they can overtake Liverpool. They have to play Manchester United next weekend. Speaking of which, game 10, Manchester United versus Leeds. That game ended Manchester United 1, Leeds 2. Oh, United. After waiting 3 weeks to watch United play, that was what I was served. That's what we were served, United fans. That was what we were served. It was a very competitive game. Leeds played out of their skins. They totally deserved the win, to be honest, even though there was a controversial refereeing decision or VAR decision in the game. I believe the main issue was that Leeds outplayed United. From a United perspective, the main issue is that Leeds. But if you're a Leeds fan, big shout out to you. Big shout out to the Leeds players. They looked hungrier. They looked like they wanted the game more than United. In the first 5 minutes at Old Trafford, Leeds already had 2 shots on target and a goal ahead. By the halftime, Leeds could have been 4-0 ahead, to be honest. It's just that there were some good saves by the goalkeeper to keep United in it, and also Martinez cleared off the line to save United. So Okafor got both goals in the first half for Leeds. I think the first one was in the 3rd minutes, and the second one was in the 30th minutes or something like that. So yeah, 29th minute. I see that the second was in the 29th minute. Yeah, I almost got that. So before United could even do anything or respond, there were 2 goals down. It seemed like United were a diesel engine that were waiting to fire up, an old diesel engine that were waiting to fire up. But by the time United were fired up, Leeds were already 2 goals ahead. United did get one back in the second half after the red card to Martinez. Martinez got a red card for a tug and the hair of Calvert-Lewin. Now, that to me is a controversial decision because the referee on field did not say that was a foul. It was just a slight tug on the ponytail, and VAR stopped the game, and the referee had to go with the VAR and gave a red card. Letter of the law red card. Was it soft? Absolutely. It was crazy soft because that was like a slight tug of the ponytail. But moving on, after the red card, it seemed like United with 10 men played better than they did with 11 men because that was when they finally woke up and started to go at it and have a go and got a goal back through Casemiro. Bruno Fernandes got the assist. That was his 17th or is his 17th assist of the season. He has 3 more to break the record or equal the record for the highest number of assists in a single season in the Premier League. So That was how it ended. It ended 2-1. United huffed and puffed and pushed. There were two goals, shots cleared off the line. Another one by Casemiro and one by Ogati was cleared off the line. And United ended the game 2-1. They lost at home at Old Trafford. Michael Carrick's second loss as a United manager. That's definitely going to do him some harm when summer comes and we're talking about a permanent manager. But yeah, he didn't have the best game because his team didn't look like they wanted to play at all in the first half. Too many changes, four changes to the starting lineup meant that United looked very disjointed, looked like they were playing for the first time together on a team. They looked like total strangers on the ball. But yeah, that's the story of that game. And I believe Carrick has work to do. The red card kind of, I wouldn't say changed the game, but it kind of sealed United's fate because United already started the game poorly, and then the red card sealed the fate. Could United have come back into the game with 11 men? Probably, maybe, but you'll never know at this point. So damage was already done before Martinez got the red card. And that is your full game week 32 breakdown and review. Let us dive into the next segment. We'll look at the league table and see where everybody's sitting at the moment. League table standing. Arsenal still on top, comfortably on top, yes, but only just. City have a game in hand. Arsenal have 70 points. Man City 64 points, 6 points behind Arsenal, and a game in hand. And then the most important point, which I have been raising for the past 3 weeks and talking about, is the fact that Arsenal still have to go to the Etihad Stadium. So, speaking from a Man City perspective, if they beat Arsenal and now they have still one game in hand, it becomes 3 points behind with one game in hand. And then and if City beat Crystal Palace, they are level on points. Goal difference becomes the factor here, and then the rest of the games they have for the season. Speaking from an Arsenal perspective, if Arsenal can get a draw at the Etihad, they're as good as winning the title because if they do that, then they can keep distance between them and City, and still they have games to play to make sure that they win the game. So if they draw, it is totally in their hands. But if City win the game against Arsenal, then the title it kind of shifts. The momentum kind of shifts. So we'll leave that on the balance. Who do you think has more pressure on them? Arsenal, Man City, Arsenal, Man City. I believe it's still Man City with the pressure because now they have to win. Arsenal are still on top with 6 points. Man United lost that game, but they're still in third place with 55 points, level on points with Aston Villa. United have a superior goal difference. Liverpool comes in fifth, and sixth is Chelsea. Further down, we have Brentford, Everton, Brighton, Sunderland to make up the top 10. And at the bottom, we have Wolves in the 20th position. They lost the last game. Burnley also lost, sitting in 19th. 19th and 20th, I feel like their fate is already sealed pretty much. And we have Spurs, the surprise candidate, sitting in 18th position. They lost and they're 2 points away from safety because West Ham won their own game 4-0. So the other people that are close to the relegation pot, Nottingham, Leeds got that amazing win at United, which kind of almost gets them across the line. If they can get 3 more points, they should be good enough to stay up. Nottingham Forest got a draw, and they still have some games where they would look to get points off other teams to survive the drop. I believe it's going to be one of West Ham or Tottenham to drop. Who do you think it's going to be? And there's your roundup for game week 32. Leave your comments in the comment section. Who was your player of the week? What was your game of the week? What game did you enjoy the most? And tell me, who do you think is going to drop? Spurs or West Ham? Who's going to win the title? Arsenal or Manchester City? Have a great week ahead, guys. Bossman talking to you. Cheers.